never walk this road, then you can talk shit. Gambling with my life, but I refuse to go for nonsense. This the life I chose, this all I know, ain't many options. About to tell the truth, I make the rules like I'm Fleece Johnson.
Hey, what's up? This is Big Lee with Hustler Spirit. What's up, Fleece? How you doing today?
Man, as always, it is as it is.
Hey, go ahead and like and subscribe. Visit the website where the clothes and gear is, www.hustlerspirit502.com. Hey, Fleece, let's go ahead and get right into it. A lot of people, I guess we didn't explain it well enough in the beginning interviews, videos, on how you exactly got the initial sentence at, 14, 15 years old?
Yeah.
How you got 10 years then to go to jail. What crimes were you committing? I mean, what happened?
Well, back in the days, man, the major crimes back in was robbery, shoplifting, purse snatching, stealing cars. That was the number one crime people usually go to prison for. Well, I was on the road because, I'm packing 245 nickel-plated automatics. And so I'm hanging with people in their 30s, and I'm 14. So we robbed 16 places. And on the last place, I said to Lil John, call himself my cousin, and Frank McQuirtle, also was supposed to be my cousin. He got a Fleetwood Broham, one of them big Cadillacs. So, and he got a big afro too. It's back in the 70s. So, I said, no, man, we got enough money, man. This is it. Let's go home, man. They said, man, we cased the place, got 2 cash registers safe in the back. So we go in the place. I take the old people, the white man, the white lady, in the back. And I get him to open the safe. My cousin supposed to be getting the cash register. He don't even know how to punch it and where to open. So I told him, I said, watch them, and I'll go back there and go out there and open it. So I handed him the money, and so he had a gun too. So I went to the cash register, put it up, looked at her, seen some King Elwood cigar boxes with a lot of change and stuff in it. I said, I might as well take out every penny. So when I went back in there, he's gone. He done ran out. He went out the door, left me.
What, ran with the money?
Yeah. So I said, oh my God. So I went on out the front, and they had telephones back in, so I snatched the wire off the telephone as I was going out the door. And I was walking like, I just came out of there from shopping. And then some white guys across the street said, that's one of them. Man, they was jumping off the porches and everything, so I started running. So I got all this money and stuff started holding me down. Then I realized, where you running from? You got guns on you, man. You got 2 of them. So I stopped, put the stuff down, and pulled both guns, man, and I was lighting up I was shooting like, I wasn't trying to kill them. I'm aiming, look like I'm aiming at them, but I know I'm shooting over them. And I stopped, and so we had a car parked 2 blocks away in a church parking lot. I get in the car, I tell my cousin that ran, man, just duck down because the report is 2 black youths. Any 2 black people they see, they pull it. Man, look at all this money, man, look at all this money. I said, man, lay down. So we got about 3 blocks away from her. And then the driver, Frank, he hollered, there go the police. He looking through his rear view mirror. I said, speed up, man. He said, they stopped at the rear. I said, man, speed the fuck up. He said, they get ready to turn around. I said, man, he said, man, just tell them I picked y'all up. I can't go to prison. I get peeled. All that, weak shit. So I took the gun, like I said, he had a big afro, and I aimed it right at his head and shot him. It went through his hair and went through the windshield. I thought I shot him in the back of the head. I tried to kill him. But I jumped out and ran, and I got away. But you know what? I went home and went in and laid in the bed and woke up with guns in my face because they told who I was and where I lived. So now I'm at the police station, juvenile. So the police come around there and holler, you fit the description of a lot of robberies. He said, y'all look like the ones that did this and did that. But they weren't with me on 8 of my robberies. It was me and somebody else on it. So my cousin John said, didn't you, Ken Singh, and little Tommy do that?
You said in front of the police?
Yeah. He said, tell him. He said, I'm not going to take no time for nobody. I kick your ass, cuz, all that stuff. I said, I ain't telling you shit. But he told. He got out. Frank told on me. They put all the blame on me. And I went to prison, man. And he ended up coming to prison. I ended up whooping his ass. Then he get out. Somebody shot him 17 times, killed him.
Who?
John Sanders. And then the guy that was accused of it, he met me in prison in Eddyville and wanted to talk to me about it. See, I know people say I was in on that, but I said, hold up. He snitched on me. He the one got me in prison. So whoever killed him, I don't care. Yeah, at the time I was doing time in prison, there was a situation where, whites and blacks really didn't get along. They usually build these prisons way back in the hills. They always build prison away from the city, back in the woods. Only radio station is country stations, no black stations, no black people living in the town, none of that stuff. So in the prison, at the time I went in, blacks and whites wasn't really associating. And if I ran across one of them that I thought was real racist, I'll make them talk to me. I found a way. I'm giving you an example. There's this one guy we call Snake, white guy. And Snake ran with the skinheads, the Klans, and all the people that say they don't like niggas. Back then in that prison, if you white person, if they catch you talking to a black person, they're going to stab you to death. So a lot of the white guys that was joining them, they did it out of really fear, not out of growing up hating black people. They portrayed that part to get by, And Snake was one of them. He killed somebody in prison, an inmate. And we used to tease him too. We used to say, Snake, you killed that man by mistake. Because the man stabbed him about 4 times. And then Snake, instead of turning his back to run, he charged him. End up going through a wrestling. They hit the ground. He ended up getting a knife out of the dude's hand and killed him with his own weapon. And so we did a whole lot of whole time together. And we was on a walk over, and he was over talking all that nigger talk, black people's monkeys, all that. So one day he got the song out, and them guards said, yeah, we're gonna get with you. He said, well, come on. 8 of them. They pulled up at his door. Boy, they ran in on him, they whooped him. I'm talking about, man, I heard him whipping and hollering, oh, okay, yes, sir. I said, damn. And I had buckets of duty under the bed. Shit. You know, just waiting for a moment to use it, right? So I said, I ain't going for this. I said, why y'all jump on him? They said, you want some of it? I said, boost. I said, all of them down. All of them had duty on them. 5 of them quit. And the other 3 that didn't, we made slaves out of them.
What do you mean make slaves out of them?
You know, they started bringing whiskey and all that stuff in. Just so I wouldn't do it again. And that snake wouldn't kill him. And from jumping on him. And so, when I did that, he said, hey, Fleece Johnson. I said, what? He said, for a color boy, you cool. I said, no, hunky. I ain't color, I'm black. You know, and we got along ever since. And one time, he fought somebody over me, almost killed him. So did.
For what? What you do?
Man, we was in a hole. They had this dude here now, he's real big. He weighed about 320, white dude. And he was on death row. And they took him off of death row, and he talking all that stuff. You know, we all in the hole. So he got to running his mouth to me about the TV. You know, we in the hole. I made them people put other TV in the hole. I said, I'm gonna turn this motherfucker up till y'all give us a TV. Y'all said I got 27 years in the hole. I'm not gonna just do it just like this. So they put a TV on the wall. So in a radio, in a percolator, and the walk that we was on, they call it the long time walk. That's for people that's doing years and years in the hole. May never get out of the hole. So he said he gonna turn us, and Brian said, you ain't. So when they opened the door, Snake said, Fleece Johnson, let me do this. He went back there and they was battling, but Brian was rushing him. And me and Timmy, we was sitting there watching it, Tim with him. And he knew my sister on the street, that white dude. And so we watching the fight. And Snake was hitting Brian with everything he had, and Brian was still coming. So I seen Snake count start backing up. So I told Timmy, go get it. So Timmy had a knife. So he went back, hit Brian back about 11 times with that knife, and he turned on Timmy, rushing him. Timmy just poking, backing up, poking.
And he's still coming after being stabbed?
Still coming, blood everywhere. I'm talking about it. You couldn't even see the color of his skin. So I said, okay, this is my fight. I said, y'all stand back and let me show you how to do it.
Oh, now you won't jump in after he been poked 15
Man, the man
times.
ain't even tired. I grabbed a big percolator coffee pot with the hot shit in it, threw it in his face, and he rushed me.
After you did it?
Yeah. Motherfucker rushed me, was screaming and swinging, and I'm popping him all in the head with this pop, bam, bing, bam, bing, bam, bam, bing, bam. And then what's name hit him with the knife, then he grabbed a chair and busted over his back, and it broke into like a circle. And was hitting him with the blood everywhere. He had all of us backing up. This motherfucker was just coming. He wasn't going down, man. Then I said, let me get him, man. Let me get him. Let me get him. Y'all back up. So I said, come on. I bought my fist. So I said, I'm gonna knock him out. He came rushing. I mean, I was hitting him with everything. And then, as soon as he grabbed me, I clipped his feet. And he hit the ground, bounced right back up. Real quick. And his blood is all over me now, right? And then guards are standing there shooting gas on him. Oh, get in yourself. Shooting all kinds of shit. Finally, we all went in. He stayed on the wall. He stood on the wall. When they shut our door, he stood on the wall. And them guards hollering, get in your cell. I'm telling you, he's bleeding, man. You can't even see his skin. He wouldn't get in. So they opened the door, they ran in on him. He's out there fighting them. I mean, they hit him with sticks and everything, electric shields. He's still coming. Boy, he was one crazy white dude. And a couple months later, about 8 or 9 months later, we ended up on the same walk again. So I'm by myself, too. Ain't no 10 with snake on the wall. They open the door, we come out. He said, Fleece Johnson. He said, let me talk to you. I said, I'd rather we just go on and fight it out, man. Come on. He said, man, I ain't come to fight, man. I'm done with that. And all that, man. And then he started speaking to black people. But you know what?
What made you trust him, though?
I never trust him. He acted up, and I was a janitor. They told me go clean his cell out, sweep it out, and mop it and all that. Man, he had pictures in there of black celebrities that he had a vow in his heart if he ever got out, he was going to kill him.
Celebrities or politicians?
Like Jesse Jackson was one of them, Al Sharp. It was people that was heavy into the black community.
Mm-hmm.
And, but you know, tell you how stupid he is. He's taken off with death row. Think he knows so much about the law. He take his case back in court. They reinstated the death penalty, put him right back on there. He's out of here.
They done already put him to death?
No, not him.
Oh, okay.
Not him. He's gone, though. Ain't no getting back off. You gone. You know, once he got back on, that's it, no. But that's some of the stuff you go through in prison. You know, like I said, I did 40 years in prison, so I got to see a little of everything, you know. And you know what used to get me? These guys come to prison. Like me, I fought my own battles. I hung with me. I ain't with no clique, none of that. I hung with me. It's a lot of people that ride with me if I need them, but I hung with me. Took orders from me. I see people come in prison, gangbangers, people that done shot up places everywhere they go, considered a gangster. They come to prison and here's what fear does. First day, most of them want to join the Muslims for protection.
So how does that work? So you become, because I know people that went to prison become Muslims. So you become a Muslim. And they're so strong in there?
Well,
they protect you?
Yeah, they are under vows and oaths and stuff. Like, you fight one, you gotta fight all of them, all that stuff.
But that's gangs do that too.
Yeah. So
why are they joining Muslims instead of a gang?
Because the Muslims teaching a new direction. They thing is no violence, you know. Ain't no all that cussing. Ain't no running around messing with gays. Ain't no breaking prison rules. They teach how to be a man, how to solve problems, and don't hang around people that is trouble. And that's what Muslims teaching us. You know, we go do our salat, we go do, you know, we pray 3 times a day. We come together, we don't eat pork and all that. And they stay true to it sometimes. Well, not, well, like, that's what they teach, but I've seen a lot of them steer away from their beliefs, you know. Do things that they know they ain't supposed to do. People used to tell them, the main talk is, man, them Muslims in Chicago, New York, if they see the way y'all doing this, they kill all y'all. I used to hear that a lot because they don't hold true to it, you know. But, and then guys that come in, they'll join a clique. I can try to go to church. Now you want to go to church. You know, you weren't doing it on the street. I mean, it's good that you realize that you need to start happening yourself stuff. But what is bad is they're not doing it for that reason. They're doing it for protection. So when they get out, the hell with the church, the hell with all this other stuff, you know. So then they get in gangs, cliques. Yeah, man, I was Crip on the street, Blood, GD, Viceroy. Then they ask them, you know, only thing that members know about, you know, club stuff, slogans and all that stuff, you know, mottos and hand signals and steps. But you know what?
Well, let me ask you this: why if the Muslims was so clicked up and protective? Remember that Muslim that we talked about that got hung?
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Freddie Dunn.
Freddie Dunn. What did they do about that? How was the activity level in there
At
after
the time that Freddie got killed, we didn't have a real big Muslim population in that prison. He was like, they didn't even have a Muslim meeting thing at that time. He was like a Muslim that came from another prison. You know, still, even though he was alone by himself, he's still a Muslim. You know, he gonna still pray and all this. So.
But he didn't have a clique there with him.
Mm-mm. But he shouldn't even have to have one, cause you know what? Here's the thing. People usually click up on their own when they hear about stuff.
What do you mean?
You know, like out here in the streets, Breonna Taylor, police killed her. She was protested all over America from people that didn't even really know her personally, but then like what they heard about how it happened and why, right? They was in all against that, you know, the fact that they killed her. You know, and so in prison, people usually band together, don't even have to know you. Hey man, dude just got stabbed. Who did it? Yeah, they did it for that reason. Then now everybody's mad. Well, we're gonna have to settle this. You know what I'm saying? Now in Freddie Dunn's case, he didn't I was next door. I saw it through a mirror. I stuck my mirror around there and saw it. He was already dead. And I scooped back so they wouldn't even know I seen this shit. And I kept my head at the bar, while I was laying down there. Motherfucker reach through there, choke me out, whatever, stab me. But I took that chance. I knew if I moved to the other end, they know I'm up. And they know I moved because I seen it. So I just laid there, and the guard that let him do it, he eventually became cool with me, and he became a warden at the prison. He was a regular guard there. He the one that opened the gate
to let them in.
To let them do this. And when he became a warden, he did everything he could to help inmates all the way till he retired. But
why didn't you do anything?
I fought my own fight in there.
But you see somebody get hung.
I fight my own fight. The only time I got into some fights was like over somebody else. It's like it gotta be I'm in there trying to survive. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm trying to survive myself.
You were scared though, wasn't you?
Nah, hell no, I ain't scared.
When you watched that, you nothing in your body, you wasn't no fear at all.
Look, when you don't fought the battles I done fought, you more careful than afraid.
What does that mean?
You learn the mindset of the people in the place. Like, all of them that was involved in that, one of them, he done already killed 2 inmates in his prison. Another one done killed one. And the other one, he was so bloody. He was one of the bloodiest little white boys I ever ran across. Just the taste for blood. He's the kind that can sit there and eat a whole dinner while he dice you up and separate. I mean, he was just evil. So
you knew better?
No, I ain't know I knew better. It ain't my fight.
Well, you done helped people before. You didn't help him.
I couldn't have, he dead.
You didn't retaliate against him?
So, no, I'm not retaliating for him.
Not against them?
No, listen. I know how to survive in the penitentiary. I know when to get in shit and when to stay out of it. Just like I do out here in the streets. It's going to be things out here that I can see happening on the news. So-and-so killed so-and-so, and I probably know the person they killed. It ain't my fight. Let their family take care of it. You know, their organization, or whoever they
running
got ties with. Let them. It's not my job to step up and say, hey.
But when
y'all killed him, so I'm gonna kill. Nah,
when Snake was getting jumped on by them guards, that wasn't your responsibility either. But you threw duty on the guards.
I wanted to. That's a different situation. I'm dealing with somebody that I look at ain't shit. These dudes that I know is bloody, like the way they are. It's only one way you can step to them is to kill them, straight up. They ain't going for no rap, no talk, nothing. Once they know you gotta aim.
That's the point I'm trying to make. You knew they wasn't gonna play.
Yeah, I did, and that's why it still wasn't my fight.
No, we got to you done already told us they wasn't gonna play with you.
Man, it ain't even about that. If they had killed somebody that I was cool with, fuck them.
You would have stayed out of it.
No, I wouldn't have. No, I wouldn't. You know,
They would have shredded you in there,
man. They would have had to. You mess with somebody I'm cool with, you're going to have to do that, man.
You got that to do, huh?
You got it to do is on site, man. When we meet on site, I don't care. That's how it was with me. And so, if we ain't cool, we just speak. If something happened to you, if I have any respect, I let your people know. You know, but I stay out of that shit. Out of it. And I would want people to do that over me. If somebody killed me, we ain't cool, man. Who you? You know.
So that's how you stayed alive for 40 years in there.
I stayed alive 40 years because of God. I should have been dead a long time ago, but call it luck.
No,
I ain't gonna give you know.
God,
I battled, I fought, but I'm not big headed. I know in my heart that odds was against me in most of my fights, and I always came out on victory. That's God. You can only get lucky once or twice, but if it keeps happening, you got some sort of forces outside of you that is helping you. So I always got in situations, the odds against me, and I come out winning. But that's God. I was prepared for this.
Have you been, change subjects real quick. Have you been keeping up with the Tyler Perry thing?
Yeah, a little of it.
How they say he got supposedly got text messages to the other guy, and he's suing him for $260 million.
Yeah, I read all of that. Yeah, I did.
What do you think about that?
Well,
what you said all these people's gonna go down in 2025.
Man, I said
that's crazy.
I said I talked about these very people before all this stuff even happened. I was calling Hollywood out. I was telling the public what I believe was up in Hollywood. First of all, from the Soul Train on up to now, most of the dancers was gay. Most of these guys in Hollywood, they go to Hollywood, they go in there gay in disguise. They don't feel that as a gay, they can make it. They have to go in disguise, you know, and they got skills. You know, they deceivers. I mean, perpetrators, fraud. I mean, they went to the place where it's all that. I called all of them's name out, all the way to TD Jakes, all of them, before it was even talked about. I was up here telling y'all who they were. And everybody I named is out there now, being investigated, talked about, people's coming forward telling about them. See, but I already know.
So you think it's true?
I know it's true. And
but if somebody do something to you, why not go to the police and file a complaint? Why everybody running to court to sue for money?
Well, because which would you rather have? Nothing or something?
I mean, if somebody truly did something to you, you could do both.
Yeah. But you got people now, it's like, civil court is better because they don't have guilt and innocence is up under a different format than had you been in state or federal court, you know, without in a civil.
So them running straight to the money doesn't tell you, well, you know, I don't know if you're telling the truth or not.
No, they got their jury too. And see, in federal court, you get an opportunity to, just
face your accuser for sure.
you can sue. See, you can sue in state court first of all for defamation of character, but it's gonna move you to federal. You be better. You can oversee state court. I ain't going through all this state stuff. I'd rather go to federal court, who I can rely on, because the civil action in 1983 was developed for the reason to make sure a person's grievances and stuff would be heard, right? Because state court was ran by people who owned the state court. They play golf with them, neighbors and all this, and they do favors. Well, I think you ought to go on and dismiss it. Yes, I will. And they took a lot of bribes and stuff. So the Supreme, and a lot of people in society couldn't get redressed, you know, for their the deprivation of their rights. When violated, state court wouldn't give them no relief. So the Supreme Court came out with the 1983 Civil Rights Act, telling you take it to federal court. You know, it's going to get processed the way it should be processed. You can't buy them judges and none of that, you know, and they deal with civil rights violations. And so it's better to go to federal court.
One last thing. Guess who had you in their mouth again?
Who?
Just guess.
Don't say Dante.
No.
Ooh.
A big YouTuber mentioned you on his show again.
Carlson White?
Nope.
Ooh.
Vlad.
Oh, Vlad, my buddy Vlad. Hey.
He had Terrence Gangster Williams on his show. Remember Terrence came there and interviewed you? Terrence actually took up for you. He didn't say one bad thing about you. He was cool. But it just amazes me how Vlad has to mention your name any chance he gets.
I'm going to tell you what's scaring him. Vlad, hear me out. Now, I'm going to be real with you. You know, when it started out...
He said you got sexual charges. That's why your time got extended, which is crazy. I don't know where he gets that from.
Well, please show records.
Please.
You show records, I'll take a bow. I'll bow to you. You ain't going to find no records. None of that. And so, the moment you say you got some, I mean, that you actually... See, you're going to keep on. This is what you're scared of, Blake. I'm going to tell you. And you don't have nothing to worry about. When it first took off, yeah, it aggravated me because it's preposterous. You know, who wouldn't be mad over it? You know, and you know y'all took it to another level. You all know that. Y'all made money, $18 million off of Boondocks. Everybody ate it up. You hit somebody, you can turn into a predator. And you chose me. And y'all felt I would never get out of prison. I thought I'd never get out. But bam, I ended up out. And then when I came out, I defended myself. Right here on YouTube. Yeah, I was mad at you, but you know what? I'm thankful for you now. Because of you, I'm what I am now. Where I am now. And I'm going to tell you this. Here's what's scaring you.
He don't own Boondocks.
I know, but...
you keep giving him credit for Boondocks. He just uses your name. He don't own it.
Yeah. Vlad is like... Vlad, what scares Vlad is this. He feels that when he sees me moving up to the top, money flowing and all that, he thinks once I get real powerful, then I'm going to turn my attention to him, right? For vengeance or whatever. That's what he's scared about. He's trying to stop me from reaching the top. Out of fear that I'm going to get powerful, then turn toward him. Let me tell you something.
No, he uses your name for click.
Well, that's what I
for
believe.
For views. That's what he does.
Either that, he's telling me that he want to give me some of that booty. Yeah.
That's what Vlad's telling you?
I think what he's telling me is it's something about me that turns Vlad on. You know, he can't stop talking about me. You know, he can't, just, I was going to say keep me out of your mouth, but now put me in your mouth. That's what I'm telling you, keep me in your mouth. Get it in there for real. But Vlad, I believe that's what it is. I believe that you got something for me. You got a secret. You got a secret. And you want to, you hope I see it.
You serious too?
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. I see it. He wants, look, Vlad wants to have sex with me. He wants me. Out of everybody, he wants me. He just can't stop talking about me. About my thing up in somebody's butt. Ooh, he got his big thing in somebody's butt. Me fucking somebody in the ass. So his mind stays on that. Because you know what? Yeah, he's like Chris Handsome. Yeah.
Peace.